Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 28 of Season 3 here at Southampton. This is going to be the end of season roundup. We'll have a look at how we did in all the competitions we were involved in, have a look at the other top leagues around Europe, how we fared with the board, and final squad report so we can see who's been growing and by what ratio this year, and see basically who was our player of the year. So drop the video a like if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on Season 4 when it begins, but do make sure that you've watched the season finale yesterday with regards how the season finished. Final gameplay episode, basically, to avoid spoilers in this one. I'll give you a couple of beats to go and do that. And now, we're into spoiler territory. Okay, right, so we finished first in the Premier League this year on goal difference ahead of Chelsea. 73 points, which is actually a very low figure to actually win the league with. I'm not entirely too sure how many league titles have been won with such a low amount of points, but 73 points in this year's Premier League table, as it stands right now, with 4 games to go, would only see you currently sit third in the table with 4 games to go. So to win the league with 73 points is pretty rare. We finished level on points with Chelsea. Spurs finished level on points with Everton and level on points with Arsenal, and it was goal difference that decided third, fourth and fifth, as well as first and second. Arsenal only getting Europa League football next year. Liverpool finished 6th on 65 points, narrowly missing out on European football by 2 points. Manchester United further in 7th. Manchester City did recover to finish in 10th in the end, and finished a full 20 points clear of the relegation zone. So their form chart for the second half of the season must have been title-winning form, because they were still in the relegation zone after 18 games. So they must have just blitzed it the last half of the season. Norwich relegated, unfortunately for them, as are Aston Villa and Swansea. Their doom was sealed a few games ago. As you can see, it's an 8-point gap to West Brom in 17th, then Newcastle on 40, Palace on 41, etc. The Community Shield we won at the beginning of the season, so yay us. The FA Cup we weren't quite so successful in. We unfortunately got knocked out in the semi-finals. We got knocked out in the semi-finals against Manchester City, rather resoundingly. That Aguero hat-trick was pretty spectacular. City then went on to win the FA Cup, so congratulations to them. In the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out. I can't remember what round we got knocked out of in that competition. We didn't even make it to the round of 16, did we? No, we didn't. Spurs win that competition, so congratulations to them. Roma won our pre-season tournament. Chelsea won the European Super Cup after winning the Champions League last year. Champions League winners this year, however, Manchester City. A Manchester derby in the Champions League final. 2-1 victors. In fact, 3 of the 4 sides in the final 4 were English. Tottenham there as well. And the side that knocked us out, Juventus, got all the way to the semis after brushing past Real Madrid, something they couldn't do in the quarterfinals in real life. City doing the double though. Champions League and FA Cup. Congratulations to them. In the Europa League, when it eventually decides to change slate for me, even though I've pressed the button, it's Atletico Madrid. In fact, 3 of the 4 sides in this competition were Spanish, with Real Sociedad also being there in the semis. No English sides whatsoever in the quarterfinals. And only 1 English side in the round of 16, that being Leicester in the top right. And that is a surprise. The European Championships for 2020 are currently ongoing. You can see the groups here. I'll just quickly scroll through and pause too much. Obviously, in real life, it's been upped from 16 to more teams now. There will be more groups in Euro 2020 IRL, but that's not reflected in FIFA currently. We'll have a quick look at the other big leagues around Europe so we can see who's going to be joining us in the Champions League next year. Of course, we will be playing in the Champions League Season 4, hoping to win it. That's going to be the main aim. Watford and Huddersfield will be joining us in the Premier League. One of Sheffield Wednesday, Leeds United, Brentford and Ipswich will also be doing so. Bradford, Portsmouth, Wigan and Wigan relegated from the Championship. Barnsley and Blackburn promoted out of League One, with MK Dons, Bolton, Rotherham and Scunthorpe heading into the playoffs. Southend, Shrewsbury, Mansfield and Exeter relegated out of League One. 4 teams go down from that league. Doncaster, Northampton and Swindon automatically promoted from League 2. Chesterfield, Notts County, Forest Green and Fleetwood will fight it out for the playoffs. Cambridge only able to manage 9th, unfortunately for me. And if there were the conference, Yeovil and Morecambe would be in it. In France, Paris Saint-Germain win Liga by a margin. 13 points ahead of Monaco, Lyon and Marseille. Bayern Munich win in Germany by a hell of a margin. 17 points for them. I believe they actually... Well, it might have been the RTG series, I can't remember, but I believe Bayern didn't finish in the top 2 in one of my previous series, one of previous seasons. Juventus win in Italy by 3 points. So everyone that you would expect to win the league so far has won it, other than our division. In Spain, Real Madrid win by 7 points. Barca, they went undefeated. 29 wins, 9 draws. Congratulations, Real Madrid. Another invincible season. Wow, I didn't see that coming. With regards to top goal scorer, Mo Salah wins the Golden Boot, with Rodrigo coming second. Ward-Prowse in third. He did have a superb season. Mane and Lamar also on 16 goals, with Diédhiou there too. Borja Mayoral on 14. Richarlison with 11. Any other Southampton players in the top 25? No. Assist-wise, wow. Borja Mayoral, Diédhiou and Ward-Prowse rounding out the top 3. Quincy Promes there in 13th with 7 as well. Kluivert there also on 7. Good seasons for a number of our players. Clean sheet-wise, Arrizabalaga kept 9. Only one off Hugo Lloris, who got the Golden Glove. So we were much better defensively in Season 3 than either of the previous years that we've been involved here at Southampton. I spent all but £17 in my transfer budget this year, but actually the club made a profit of £257 million, which even without the Premier League prize money would have seen us make a profit of about 80 million actually. So that's pretty crazy. 200 million in prize money, and the rest of it was merchandising. 127 million in merchandising. Jeez. People like to buy shirts apparently. With regards to board, only a 75 overall. Didn't do the youth one. I'm not asked about that. The brand exposure we did. We sold out at least 85% in all 19 home games. We grew the long-term one. We won the Premier League, reached the semi-final of the FA Cup. We didn't reach the final of the Champions League, though. Round of 16 for us. If we had done that, our rating would probably be in the 80s, because we basically did everything other than the youth in the Champions League. In fact, we did do everything other than the youth in the Champions League. So why it's still only 75, I'm not sure. I'm quite disappointed at that, to be honest. But how did everyone grow this year? Arrizabalaga up 1 to 86. Keeping a reflexes into the 90s. Alex McCarthy, no growth, but no decline either, so fair enough. He'll remain my backup keeper for the foreseeable future. Cedric, no growth from him, no decline, but I probably will look to replace him next season. Probably. We'll take your thoughts on that. DeAndre Yedlin did grow up 1 to 79, which is good news. Henry Harris up 4 to 85. All of his own back. I'm not training Henry Harris. He does, I believe, have potential to be special, so we can expect him to do the same again next year as well, hopefully. We might be able to see him into the 90s. Skriniar up 2 to 85, which is superb. Wesley Hurt up 2 to 82, which I didn't expect. Jack Stevens, no growth, but no decline. He's a good squad player. He's, good enough. Played 10 games for me. Was alright. Kieran Tierney up 3 to 83. Nice to see him continuing to grow. Ryan Bertrand has now declined to 79, so I will most certainly add him to the transfer list. And we will look for a new left-back next year. Whether that's a new left-back to start or a new rotation left-back remains to be seen. I'll take your feedback on that, and it also depends what my budget is next season. Ruben Neves up 3 to 84 this year. Really pleased with his growth. Oriol Romeu, 28 years old now. Pretty sure will stay. We made the decision not to sell him and to sell Lamina and Jordi Clasie in January to bring in Milinkovic-Savic. Quincy Promes, 84 rated now. No growth, no decline. 11 goals, 14 assists for him this year. Nowhere near as good a season as last year, but he did spend a few weeks out injured on a couple of occasions, actually, I think, or at least spent a while outside of my first team, only playing 22 of the 38 Premier League games. Would I consider selling Quincy Promes on to bring in another truly world-class winger, considering his age and the fact that we've got Richarlison and Justin Kluivert that are younger, much younger, and have better potentials? Probably. I probably would consider selling Quincy Promes on. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section. Milinkovic-Savic we bought in for 70-something, 75.4. And he's actually gone up to 90 rated. I did have to train him slightly with his tackling, but he's gone up. A number of his other stats actually going up as well that I didn't train. Most notably his passing and his finishing. And he's scored many goals for me? 3 and 2 assists in 24 games. No, then, really. But, and to be fair, one of those goals came in the pre-season tournament that he didn't play for me in. But still, pretty damn good. James Ward-Prowse. Now, he had a stunning season. No growth, despite the fact he had the best season of his life. 18 goals, 23 assists in 50 games. He really took well to that cam roll, didn't he? 11 clean sheets as well. Not that that really matters. Delighted with that. We did train Josh Sims to be a good backup winger, and he was a good backup winger. Only 1 assist and no goals in 16 games, but he was very effective when I used him. And he will stay at the club. Don't see any point in selling him on. Callum Slattery will leave on a free at the end of the season. Now, Diegu's growth has really surprised me. I did train him quite a bit with regards to his finishing, but that was only until he was like 82 or 83 rated, and he has grown a further 2 overall ratings since I stopped training him, up to 85 overall, scoring 29 goals and 15 assists in 35 games. Yeah, that's where he took over from Borja Mayoral as my starting striker. Borja getting 22 goals and 17 assists, so still a very good return, but not as good as Diegu. He did have a bit of a goal drought, Borja Mayoral, as well, although he has grown it up 2 this year. So pleased enough with that. Finishing up 1 to 87. Obafemi, he's alright. He's good enough as a third rotation striker. Marcus Barnes finally agreed to leave to go somewhere else. He's going to Millwall. It took until after the season had ended for that to actually happen. Justin Kluivert and Richarlison both up 1 this year. I'm hoping that they'll continue to grow in Season 4. I'm not sure what their default potential is, but they both had good seasons. 10 goals and 13 goals, 9 assists and 3 assists apiece. And then Buffal, who's 26 now, I'd probably consider... Oh, would I? No. Maybe I'd consider selling Buffal on as well to bring someone else in out wide, as well as Quincy Promes. What's he valued at? 21 million. Well, I could get a decent whack for Sofiane Buffal, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see what you guys reckon in the comments. But that is going to be all for Season 3. We shall start Season 4 tomorrow. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. Thank you for your... Well, I'm saying this in advance because I've been away for 5 days. Thank you for your support on the channel whilst I was away. When will you see this? Wednesday, probably. I recorded 5 videos today. I get back from Ireland Monday, then I'm in London Tuesday, and then I'm away Thursday. So Wednesday, going to have to knuckle down and start recording loads of videos again. Oh, the next few weeks are actually very busy for me. Very, very busy for me. I'm away these 5 days, then Thursday, then in a couple of weeks I'm away again for 3 days, and a couple of weeks after that I'm away for possibly up to a week, and then a week after that I'm away for another week. It isn't stopping right now, so please do continue to show your support on the channel. It's very much appreciated. But for now, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time.